Right, we're back a little after 10:10. We are recording. Continue to follow up. We're going to do just a little recap and move further in. We got a lot done yesterday and also pre-recorded as well. Hold on one moment. Let's see. Okay, the screen is sharing some crazy stuff. Let's go back. The screen, now we sharing. There we go. All right, so we talked about skin pigment. Let's see if we can enlarge this. We talked about skin pigment yesterday. And as we got on, we did record it. So if you went in yesterday, you do have a recap of yesterday. But I do want to um, just go back and forth a little bit about melanin. Okay. Everyone in your young life has probably already heard about melanin. We all have one thing in common. We all have melanin. Okay. Um, for the ones that were here yesterday, can you put one thing in the chat that you remember from yesterday as I talked about melanin, melanocytes, those that have melanin versus those that do not have melanin? Where is melanin located when you talk about the layers of the skin? Anything that you remember yesterday about melanin? And then for if you were not here yesterday, what is something you already knew about melanin? Melanin, we're talking about skin pigment. So go forward, put it in the chat, something you already knew or something you just learned about melanin. Okay. I want one thing for you to be able to understand and articulate what is melanin. We got somebody in the chat. Okay. Yeah. What did they say? The darker the berry. The more melanin you have, the darker you are. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. There's something called a Fitzpatrick scale. Okay, and I think I'm gonna pull that up as well. Go to the chat, go to the chat, go to the chat. I'm gonna stop sharing really quick. Go to the chat. Yes, melanin determines the color of one's hair, skin, and nails. Yes, we have melanin in our hair, skin, and nails, but the ultimate determination about hair and skin and nails is going to be DNA. You ever seen somebody say they got hair just like they did? They got, you know, you really pick up growth patterns hereditary. So, like, dang, my mom had the same kind of hair loss, in that particular area. Eyes, she got eyes just like her mom. So it's really DNA. Melanin is the color that goes along with it. So it's the DNA, and then the melanin picks up that code, and bam, there it is. Yes, yes, yes. It's found in the found in the epidermis, and it's the deepest layer of the epidermis. The deepest layer of the epidermis. Okay. Um, Good job, guys. Good job, good job, good job. Let me look over here. Let me go to here. Let me see. Um, I want to show you something gonna blow your mind, but I just want you to receive. All of you guys are right. Let's look at something here. This is something called the Fitzpatrick scale. I just want to click on this image here. Okay. Fitzpatrick scale. If you put in Fitzpatrick scales, you're going to find thousands of Fitzpatrick scales. Okay. But was it Paquetta that just said about the hair and the eye color? Okay. This is how everyone, and it's estimated. People can make mistakes. Everybody eye is not the same. They don't see everything. When some people look at blonde, they see brown. Some people look at brown, they see blonde. Okay, so everybody has like a different perspective. When you tell me we're dealing with hair color and I see red, I'm literally seeing the color red, like ruby red. But when you tell me in natural, if someone Caucasian told me that their hair was red, they were a redhead, literally my mind would shift to orange. Okay. So everybody sees something different. This scale categorizes everybody under the moon, okay, as either 1 through 6. 1 through 6. I want y'all to use this weekend. 1 through 6, okay? That 1 through 6 is gonna tell us, it's gonna estimate hair color, estimates eye color, and also estimate skin color. This is how someone will say this is our cheat code for estheticians and cosmetologists, especially estheticians. If someone says, "What do you think about my skin?" I'm first going to find try to train my eye to put their skin into a certain category, to color their skin into a certain category. It's either going to be 1 through 6. Okay. If a person is a 1, this is how you need to train your eye. If a person is a 1, they have the lightest skin ever. They will be neighbors to albino. Okay. If the client has a 1, I want you to get the picture in your head. They would be neighbors to albino. Their skin is very, very pale, and it will not be albino, it will be neighbors to albino. So you have some individuals that have really, really pale skin who are not albino, and then you have individuals who are really, really pale skin that are albinos. Okay. Now, individuals that have reduced melanin, their skin is going to be very sensitive, very, very sensitive. If they're a 1, it's telling you now maybe the hair is blonde and maybe the eyes is blue, green, or gray. And then it has white, pale, freckled skin. That's a 1. Then we go down to 6. It may tell you their skin, and no one's skin is black. I've seen violet. Okay. Their skin is very, very dark. And let me tell you, a lot of these Fitzpatrick scales demean melanated skin. which means, hey, it's too obvious that there's a contrast somewhere. And a lot of times when you look at where education is coming from, a lot of people doing the European education, Asian education as top tier. But every time you would go to Asia, they want to take a picture with a black person because they've never seen a black person. So how can you give me education and characterize dark melanated skin when you have never really seen it? And so that's really the undertone conversations we have in educator classrooms and where we pick and choose information from. So, and then from those analogies, you get education pieces like this that says there is black skin, there is not black skin. Okay. So they're saying level 6 is the darkest of the darkest when it comes to skin. Okay. And this person has dark hair, which is brunette, very dark hair, very dark skin, and they will have deep brown eyes. And so when you learn what initially a 1 looks like, and then you learn what a 6 looks like, which is the highest, everybody else falls in the middle. Your job is to train your eye. Nobody can do that for you. I can educate you, but you would need to practice and train your eye. Who likes people watching? One in the chat. If you could really chill at the park and just people watch, or you find yourself just you're very observant. Okay, great. You're training your eye. You're training your eye. I trained my eye because I initially started out. I wanted to learn more about hair color, so I needed to train my eye as well. And I trained my eye by going to the grocery store, or every time I was in a grocery store, in a retail store, and I was behind somebody, I will try to figure out where they were on the scale just by their hair. I will also look at their hair and try to figure out what could be the problem and how it could be fixed. And that's how I trained myself to retrieve information and just teaching myself about the different levels, okay? And looking at someone's skin. But the bigger picture is with this Fitzpatrick scale is learning where they're from. When you learn where someone is from or where their culture derives from, you'll almost be able to do anything to their skin, because people don't tell you 100% the truth of what they got going on, whether it's hair or skin or facial. Okay. And so you got to be able to listen to them, but also be able to see with your eyes and know your eyes are not tricking you. Okay. Trust your gut. And so this is a Fitzpatrick scale. This is just one of many. This is another. So without faces, type 1, light pale white skin, always burns, never taints. And the real purpose of this scale is to measure how someone is protected against the sun, or how the sun will harm their skin. So of course, like someone said too, the darker the skin, the more melanin you have, great. And also in this case, the darker the skin, the more melanin you have, the more protection you have from the sun. Okay. That does not mean it will not burn. It means it doesn't burn as fast. So everybody in the world needs sunscreen, not just the ones lighter than. Okay. And so this is a great info to be taken back. Type 2, white, fair, usually burn, tans with difficulty. Type 3. Have anybody heard of a dark Caucasian? Put in the chat 1 if you've ever heard of a dark Caucasian. Okay. Okay, so today there's a such thing as a dark Caucasian. And when we talk about skin, we talk about the functions of the skin. The melanin is the base of it. Based on how much melanin you have, it's going to tell you how those functions are going to work. A lot of times, the darker the skin, the better the functions. We talked yesterday about elasticity and collagen. Guess what? The more melanin you have, also the more elasticity you have. So how you use it, Ms. Cost, what that means, break it down. The more melanin you have, okay, sometimes the darker the skin, the tighter the skin. Melanin is like a rich food. It's a super food for the body, okay? And so you have a lot of things attached to the melanin. So naturally, we're born, the more melanin you have, the more elasticity you have, the more wear you can have within your skin before you start to get wrinkles. Now, you taking care of yourself with all that built-in protection, you could be 60, 70 and look 30 and 40. Have you ever couldn't believe how old somebody was? That was a person of color, okay? And they had a darker melanated skin. All right. So yeah. So most individuals they call, black and brown, whether it is Spaniards, Indians, or African Americans, or just a whole lot of people, melanin in your skin could be the cherry on top. Okay, always the cherry on top. And so the functions of the skin, of absorption, elastin, tightness, heat regulation, all of that functions. Those functions are amazing. So type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, type 5, and type 6. Type 6, to be realistic, those individuals, their skin may look like violet, very chocolate, vibrant, violet skin. So you may look like you see a little purple. Sometimes I've seen somebody even put certain celebrities like Beyonce or Michelle Obama in type 5 and 6. And I'm like, that is such an insult. They are not, obviously they're in the 4, okay? And based on their family origins, they're between 4 and 5, obviously not 6. So that's why you have to watch the information that the scales that you're getting when you choose to go online, okay? And say, hey, I'm gonna choose this, I'm gonna choose that. So we got here 1 through 6, and we're talking about layers of skin. This melanin, again, as a recap, is found in the deepest layer of the skin. Okay, granulocytium. Okay, the deepest layer of skin. That's what I want you to get. The melanin is found in the deepest layer of the skin. When the hair receives the hair root, or the papilla receives the DNA, when it receives the code, the next thing it's going to receive is the code tells it what melanin shade it should come out as. Okay? That melanin is distributed throughout the subcutaneous layer. And so everything that's being rebuilt, from a fatty tissue to that dermis area to that epidermis, everything is positioning itself so you can find that new fresh skin. And so that's something I want you to understand. There was a term, melanocytes. Okay, there was a term, melanocytes. Melanocytes. Let's see if I can go back. I think someone said that it was the melanocytes. It's the actual melanin cell. Everybody, no matter what color you are, has melanin cells. Okay, everybody has melanin cells. I was trying to get like a celebrity picture or something. Everybody has melanin cells. It's Patrick scale. Okay, just looking at this picture. Everybody has melanin cells, but everybody's cells do not open up and distribute melanin. So it's not like I don't want you to think that the darker the skin, the more cells they have. It's not like that. It's just their cells produce more. And then the lighter the skin, those cells don't produce much melanin. right? I'm gonna look at this picture. There's a young lady here. We're gonna call her A, Lady A. The lady in the middle, we're gonna call her Lady B. Let's see if y'all see what I see. Yep. And the lady on the end, we're gonna call her Lady C. Which one of these ladies will be considered, which of these ladies will be considered people of color? Go to the chat. Which one of these ladies will be considered people of color? Okay. So let me define people of color. There's only one type of people that does not have melanin. That's your Caucasian European people. Everybody else in the world are considered people of color. Okay. There's only one type of people, European, Caucasian, that is considered non-people of color. Everybody else in the world are people of color. Okay. So that means Lady B and Lady C are people of color. So our cousins are, you know, Asians, Hispanics, Latinos, mm, Africans, everybody, everybody else in the world, even those individuals from like Pakistan, Arabia, they're Arabian people. They are considered people of color. Okay? They are considered people of color. So the only person who is not a person of color would be Lady A. Okay? And so we have to make sure the visual is right. Everybody else is people of color. And I'm saying Lady A based on skin color. I see some, of course, there's makeup, but I see like a pale undertone here. And I see facial features on Lady C that help me understand origins. Okay. And of course, I'm choosing Lady B because of the obvious melanin in the skin. So that's what I want to make sure you guys understand. Let's look at this when it comes to skin color as well, and maybe it will hit off a ringer of things that you've seen or may have thought about before. Um, you got the North Pole, which is cold, and then you have the equator, which is hot, very, very hot. Individuals eventually migrated as they migrate south around the world. The sun makes skin, obviously a little darker. There are generations that adapt this darkness and it becomes embedded in DNA code. And then this travels from person to person to person, generation to generation to generation. Okay. You may have noticed this when the summertime is here, tend to get a little darker. Everybody's on the tanning. And then when the wintertime is here, that skin reverts back to being very, very cool, a little lighter, maybe a little drier as well. When we look at this Patrick scale that someone comes up and says, what do you think about my hair? What do you think about my skin? This is one thing I always ask, where are you from? Where is your family from? Where do they originate from? And you may say, Ms. Cox, seriously? Yes. I know they're in Memphis, but is there a country, or your family's from the US? Is there, or your family's from Europe? Your family, where do you originate from? I like to find that out because it tells me, it makes sure I have to evaluate for mistakes. So yes, I'm doing this hair color, I'm doing this chemical peel, but it's going to tell me how long your skin can endure. It's going to tell me what surprises may pop up. So for individuals who are type 1 slash albino, these individuals derive from areas initially such as Netherlands, okay? Ireland. This is where the freckles come in. So those individuals, naturally, I would look and say, hey, I know y'all from, you got to be around the area of Ireland because of the freckles and the skin color and also of the hair color. The eyes are probably green. The freckles are probably, excuse me, orange. Okay. Their hair, well, I would say reddish orange. Their hair is probably reddish orange or blonde as well. And when I see this, and when you see this, if you were a cosmetologist and this person wanted you to color their hair, every time that you would lighten their hair, that reddish orange is going to pop up. It's going to be a problem if this person wanted to be platinum blonde, okay? Because that reddish orange is going to pop up, pop up, pop up, pop up, pop up. Now, if you're an esthetician and you had this client come in, I would be very, very concerned because just say they were doing chemical peels or something, advanced treatments. Well, because of how they look, you've observed that their skin is very, very pale. You observe the freckles, you observe the hair color. Because of how they look, they will have a huge sensitivity to products, to chemicals. So you would, some services they will be able to get, and some services you will have to deny these clients because their skin will be just too sensitive to perform those services. This person who's a type 1 would not even be able to go out in the sun before 3 o'clock. Anybody know why? Go to the chat. Why would this person not be able to go out into the sun so early? Okay. I'm going to the chat. Yep, yep. Severe sunburn to where you can't even move. They can't even move their arms, y'all. They wouldn't even move their arm down. Yeah. So when they go out shopping and stuff like that, while the in the daytime, they would need to be clothed, arms covered, legs covered. Sometimes people up to their necks because they're so sensitive. And after the sun goes down, then they may be able to come out and without the coverings. They're just when I say, yeah, it's like that. And so those everybody has to be cautious of those individuals, and you need to understand Fitzpatrick. And so melanin is found in the base layer of the cell, and melanin is everything. It is everything, is in everything. And so when we say an individual is, so sensitive they can't even come outside, this also means that with the lack of melanin, okay, with the lack of melanin, this person also has a low form of elasticity, which means, although yes, we age, but some individuals may age faster than others. Okay. So for my estheticians, be very mindful. For my estheticians, be very, very mindful of you performing services on individuals that have these particular sensitivities. And here's the plus, your service list may evolve as a person ages. Okay, because the first sign of aging, mostly on individuals that are non-melanated, the first sign is going to be wrinkling around the neck and the décolleté. So that chest area, that breast area, um, sunburn causes your skin to shrink up. Okay, and so you have and can increase wrinkles, and so you have wrinkles in that chest and in that neck area. These individuals may say they want neck treatments, neck creams, and things of that nature. So, and of course, the darker the melanin, you will find individuals who don't have that for a long period of time. Okay. So a lot of times I look at individuals, I don't care how their face look, because they can have facelifts, but I also look at their necks and I look at their chest, and that helps me give around about an age of where they are. Okay. Sometimes you can look at hands as well. So yeah, a lot of things come with that melanin. So it's good for us to understand melanin, where it derives from, how it mixes with our DNA code, and it gives color to everything else going on around our bodies. Okay. Um, and basically, if you read page 66, I bookmarked it. It's going to give you everything that I have said, internal and external factors about melanin. So just wanted to talk about that. When I said that everybody should have sunscreen, yes, it says melanin is the pigment that protects us from the sun, mainly. Okay. It's stimulated by exposure to the sun. So someone who's melanated, if you laying out in the sun long enough, yeah, you could get darker. Okay. You could get darker. Um, I know some individuals are stopped using tanning machines, but I need you to get your calculators out. I ain't put you on game today. I'm about to put you on it today. This for my esthetician and my cosmetologist. Some people do not use tanning beds anymore because they're scared of the light rays, so on, so on. But guess what? Tanning beds are going strong. The tanning business is going strong. The tanning business is overlooked. Okay. And people are making millions right under your thumb. You're trying to figure out how to do hair. Okay. You're trying to figure out how to do hair and how to book 100,000 clients. That is not, yeah, yeah. That ain't how you do it. Okay. That ain't how you do it. One thing, individuals, you already have Sweet Life. The sweets are popular. But if you just say this week or this weekend, if you go somewhere and you see a tanning salon, Palm Beach Tan, there are a couple of other tanning places, but they're all over the city of Memphis, Collierville. If you look at certain zip codes that have very expensive homes, you're going to see tanning bed companies. You're going to see tanning companies. And those companies follow where the money is. Okay. And so that's something I want you to just kind of walk on this weekend. You know, if you see one, pull over and just say, hey, you want to go in and get a car? You want to know about tanning? Guess who tans? Everybody. I wanted to experience tanning at a trade show in Birmingham, and I was in line. They came and got me out of line. They came and got me out of line, put me in this booth. We basically, I had a sundress on, and of course, pulled my legs up, stretched my arms out, and they spray tanned my arms and legs. They did my chest area, did my face. Y'all, I thought I was the most beautiful person in the world. It was mirrors up and down the escalators. I couldn't help looking at myself. I was so bronzed. I felt like I was Beyonce bronze, with absolutely slayed. Everybody gets tanning. And there are people of color that like to be bronze, that like to have a little glitz, don't like glitter. And so they would go get bronze, especially before a wedding, especially before a birthday party. So everybody loves a little glitz every now and then. And people that wear makeup, we wear bronzer. And so that's just like, it's a full body bronze. There are melanated colors. There are color shades you can use. You can cultivate, you can develop those color shades. But let me tell you, get your calculators out, because tanning is what people just walk right by. And if you have space, if you have a salon, every inch of that salon or spa should be making money. If you have an extra room, that is not a storage room. It should be a tanning room, period. If you have an extra room, it should not be a storage. It should be a tanning room. Okay. Um, I'm gonna look up, and some people cannot get in tanning beds because if you're a 1 or 2, your skin does not tan. It will not turn. So people have to have spray tanning. They have to use products. and the products run in, it's a $1 billion business. Tanning products, sunscreens and suntan lotions and things of that nature, sprays, $1 billion business. And then also you have what I saw, y'all, I told y'all about dark Caucasians. Dark Caucasians are in the middle. So you would go from, just say dark Caucasians are like French people. Okay, bam. They're the closest to pigmented skin that you're gonna have over in Europe. And so those individuals would not need as much tanning products as other individuals because they got a little bit of melanin. And that little bit of melanin is all you need to, tan your skin for your sun, for the sun to use to turn your skin. You got to have a little bit of something to work with. But as I look up, I'm going to go to Facebook. I'm going to go to Marketplace. And Marketplace, I'm going to look up tanning beds. And I hope I don't get a whole lot of, I'm probably going to get it. Bam, I'm going to get it. Tanning beds.
Your hair is colored, highlighted.
They're cheap. Most, I would say your tanning bed, just say is 2,500. Let's say you do 5,000. 5,000 on a good tanning bed. 5,000 on a good tanning bed. Average cost of tanning in Memphis. It's $20 and between $20 and $60 for a single session. Monthly membership is $20 to $70. So let's say, so if they send 60, let's do $40. And I think that's a lot. Let's do $30. That's mid price. It says for Memphis and South Haven area, tanning typically costs between $20 to $60. So let's go halfway. Let's go 30. Okay. So if remember your tanning bed is 5,000. Y'all, here's the key. Tanning, you just give the person the product. They put it on themselves. They get in the bed. You cut it on. They sit for a maximum of 15 minutes. You cannot go tanning beds longer than about 20 minutes. Okay? And you're not supposed to tan multiple places in one day. So just say, what time do you go to work, P? Give me a time, P, in the chat that you would open your business. Okay? Give me a time. Mackenzie, give me a time that you close your business. We're trying to optimize all the time. Okay? 8 a.m. What time are we closing? I like the VIP. Yes. Membership, early entry. Okay? Is Somerville or Mackenzie, what time we closing? What time we closing shop? 7. All right, so 8 to 7. How many hours is that? Somebody count. Oh, okay. 9 to 8. Great, great. 11 hours. Okay. 11 hours. Take 30 minutes off. You open up, you got to clean up, you got to wipe down. Take 30 minutes off. So that's 10 and a half hours. All right. Somebody remember that, 10 and a half hours. Also take, let's take another hour off because we have to do cleaning in between. So, for at least 5 minutes throughout the day, these 5 minutes between services, we have to clean up. So let's take another hour off. So are we at 9.5 hours? 9.5? All right. So let's go to the calculator. All right. So 9.5 hours minus 15 minutes. Oh, no, 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 no. Let's go to how many, if there are 15 minutes, how many can we do per hour? So that we can do about 3 per hour because we got to take 5 minutes a piece to clean up. So we got 3 times 9.5 hours. That's 28.5 people that we did that day times $30. So you made $855 in one day, and you didn't have to do anybody's hair or prep the treatment room to do anybody's lashes, facials, or anything. Okay, $855. Your shop is open 6, 7 days a week. Most of them are open 7 days a week. So you're gonna multiply 855 times 7. That's $5,985 a week. Yeah, your first week you pay for your machine. $5,985. Only thing you had to do was have the room clean, have the product available, and you need at least 1 to 2 staff members. Really, one staff member could handle it, but 1 to 2 staff members. Just say they're teams, part-time jobs, or uh, your payroll may end up being about 500 a week. So you're looking at, just say you're looking at 5485. Okay. I'm gonna just go. How many weeks in a year? Or how many weeks in a month? Average 4. So yeah, you could bring in $21,940 a month and take your rent and all your other expenses out. Multiply that by 12. So yeah, it's a 6-figure business, $263,280, all because melanin. That's all I'm saying. Comments. So if we use the same energy in building our businesses for clients, we simply need to use the same energy for hair, skin, or nails. We can use the same energy in building our business for tanning. Guaranteed, most people that look like us have not stumbled into it. You're not going to find people to tell you about it because they want it all to all the money to themselves. But if you bring the same creativity, same marketing, same push, same hustle, you also can grow a tanning business. And it's all about sunscreen. It's all about protecting the skin. And you're just gonna have talks every day about melanin. And so it's a ton of business. Here's the here's what tanning does. Okay. Melanin responsible for skin color. Here's what sunlight does. It goes all the way down to the melanoma cell, and it starts to evolve it, produce it. It starts to produce even more melanin, right? If it does that too long, your skin could burn. So it beams down on your skin too long, it could burn. So sunscreen is needed, especially if you're outside in the beach, you're going back and forth into the pool, it's hot outside. Um, I had a friend, we went to the beach, girls trip, and we were out under the umbrella. She was on the edge. So her left shoulder was out, and her left shoulder, her neck. The leg, that left side of her body was out, and the other side of her body was under the umbrella. Well, when she got back to the hotel and began to shower, she was screaming. And that's when we found out that the skin, her left side, had burned. Immediately, I went to aloe vera. Okay? Aloe vera can be used. It soothes and it's anti-inflammatory, so it's going to soothe, it's going to reduce redness, and it's going to begin the healing process. So if you're going out vacationing, beach, or whatever you're going, always pack a little sunscreen. If you don't have sunscreen, get you some aloe vera. Okay, find your aloe vera plant somewhere, and that aloe vera is going to calm your skin and start to um, get your skin back together. Also, as you get older, your skin does not repair itself. So if your skin did get sunburned, the younger you are, your skin repairs itself and you come out of it. You start the healing process starts immediately. But as you get older and then you get sunburned, you may have that, you may go through that process longer because your cells do not reproduce as much. Okay. So yeah, what we needed to talk about concerning melanocytes. This is also what we need to be referencing. There's three types of melanin, but then there's two here that reference to you. There's the pheomelanin. I want you to look at the term, and then there's eumelanin. Okay, this is going to pertain to mostly individuals' hair colors and skin colors. So there is pheomelanin, red to yellow. Okay, then there's eumelanin, dark brown to black. So people who have a pheomelanin dominance tend to have rosy skin, red or neutral hair tones. That's talking about blondes. People with eumelanin dominance likely have cooler hair and skin tones. It's very common to have a mix of both. And when you have a mix of both, that's called mixed melanin. In this day and age, you have mixed ethnic groups, races, not ethnic race groups. Okay, so you have what we call mixed, and so you take an individual from this ethnic background, an individual from this ethnic background, and now they have mixed melanin. Okay, and so I believe since the world is a melting pot, we have more mixed melanin anywhere than we have someone who's purely eumelanin, purely female. All right. So you most of the time will have someone come in and talk about hair color and just say they're black and white mix. Well, I'm gonna tell you now, you're gonna see a little bit of both of those in their hair color, in their skin. So when you see, and it's not even just related to black and white, we got Asian and African, just so many different mixes. We're a melting pot. So it is very seldom that you see pure pheomelanin and pure eumelanin. Just please note that you will see more, especially in the United States, you'll see more mixed melanin than anything. There are some individuals who have a very, 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 very strong melanin. Those individuals, when it comes to hair, you have, I don't like to say Oriental, but you have your Asians, okay? Chinese. Those individuals have a strong melanin when it comes to their hair, which traditionally are born with dark hair. And so they have a strong eumelanin, okay? So which means Paquetta, McKenzie, when you get ready to do hair color and you see those individuals, they have a strong genetically black, brown undertone in their hair. That means they have a lot of blue, 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 blue makes black, a lot of blue in their hair. In order for you to take them blonde, you will have to break up all of that blue, and their color service is going to take some thinking and some time. All right. If you have, and I also saw Indians, okay, not Thailand Indians or Indian from the country, but Indians, okay, reservoir Indians, Native Americans. They also have a strong black undertone, eumelanin. I've seen Hispanics with brown, okay. I've seen individuals from Thailand with, from India with brown or green as an undertone. Okay, still you melanin, just not as strong as Asian brothers or Native Americans. That's something you need to look at. Okay. Um, so that was it. Strength and flexibility of the skin, as I was talking, collagen, take your vitamins, mix it in with whatever you can because collagen is going to help preserve the curvature, the fibers that keep your skin looking healthy and allows your skin to glow. It's going to keep moisture in your skin. This is what keeps you looking younger, okay? It's going to help prevent wrinkles and sagging. Collagen, 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 collagen. You are not too young. I would say when you get 30, or at least 25, start thinking, hey, I need to make sure I get that collagen. But 30, you should be adding some collagen. Every 10 years, you show signs of aging. So when you get to 30, you're adding the collagen, not because you look old, but you're wanting to go 60 still looking 30. Okay. You're preparing yourself for 10 years down the line. So that collagen and exercise and your vitamins all helps you preserve the skin that you're in, and it looks amazing. Okay. Elastin is just like rubber bands. We have this most of the time. You'll see collagen, elastin. Okay, they go hand in hand. The better you preserve the skin, okay, you don't, no frowning, all smiles. When you frown, you use more muscles that cause your skin to be drawn down and can cause sagging, period. Okay, so we want to do more smiling than we do frowning, and we want to always massage up, and we want to always use masks that help tighten the skin because elastin is like rubber bands. The more you stretch it, okay, you begin to wear it out. And let me tell you something, kissing versus smoking, anything that buccinates, causes your lip muscles to kind of bucker up. Those are great exercise. I don't want to tell y'all go out and kiss everybody, but they say kissing is a form of exercising for the lips, which is how keeps those muscles going around there. But if you are smoking, if you're drinking, all of the good stuff that's in your skin that I'm telling you about, the bad stuff kind of tears that down. So some individuals that really take care of their bodies from the inside out, their skin is going to be amazing. They can look 100, they can be 100, not even looking, okay? But when you start to incorporate, especially at a young age, alcohol, smoking, because when you're smoking, you're using more of your muscles around your mouth that can cause wrinkles, okay? And then the smoke gets into the pores and wears down your collagen and elasticity, and your pores become intoxed. Okay, it's like the smoke is like a toxin to the body, and the smoke really messes up the skin. It clogs the pores. So you guys figure out what you want to do with that. It's great advice for you to tell clients. But can you imagine the younger they are and they're starting these things, they're just going to be wearing down their skin, which is increasing their aging. Okay. And so whereas I've seen individuals that look, I know, I said, oh man, it's like life has really took a toll on them. Um, to me, look 40, look my age, but she said she was like 25. And I was like, wow, that's those outside X things that added, you know, that alcohol wears the body down. It's a toxin to the body. Smoking, drugs, all of that wears the body down. Stress wears the body down. Sickness and illness wears the body down. And so all of these great, amazing things are there and they're amazing. But when we do not, when our bodies go through just cycles of different things, and then we're externally abusing the body and causing it from the inside to grow old too fast, it starts to show really bad on the inside, on the outside. And so that's something you can always tell your people. Like if someone is really concerned and wants to come to you and say, hey, how do I look younger? And that's the number one thing that older people want to do. They want to look younger. They want to feel good. But we look at the toll of what's happening, the wear and tear on their skin. We have to really go in. You can't come in once a month. You definitely need to come in twice a month. Okay. you are not able to get just the basic service. They're no longer maintenance. You're reconstructing now. Okay, so their services may cost a little bit more because you got to go get products that cost more. You got to use tools that cost more just to kind of catch them up. So it really just really depends on what your person has going on and how well you educate them and try to push them into a healthy lifestyle. We talked about not only is melanin in that lower level, but we also have extended those glands. You have oil glands and sweat glands. So not only do we pick up the DNA, we start to pick up the color and we start to adapt and attach to oil glands and sweat glands. All of this is happening 24/7 in the body underneath the skin. All of this is happening. Okay. Every people will say, I don't sweat. Let me tell you, everybody sweat, but it's not visible to everybody. And sweating is a good thing because it removes toxins. So if someone is saying they don't sweat, they probably need to go to a doctor. Okay. Because there's some toxins that need to go out that your body needs to use those ducts for, and they're not being used. So how do we push out waste? Okay, every hair you see also has an oil gland and a sweat gland attached to it. So if you're not sweating, where is the waste going? How do we push out that waste? And as a cosmetologist, an esthetician, if you're going to be an esthetician and your job is to take care of skin, it's good for you to know your client's sweat because you know waste, the body's byproduct material from what they did not use is coming out of the skin. The longer it sits in the skin, it could cause issues inside and like pimples, all that good stuff. Okay, all that bad stuff, and cause you to do your job even more. You got to work harder. Same thing when it comes to hair. Most of your pores are going to come underarm, intimate area, and on the scalp. So if the waste is not being pushed out, what are you going to do about all that? Now we have scalp issues. Okay, we have scalp issues, and so you could possibly have odor issues as well. So the glands need to be glanding. Okay, the glands need to be glanding. Here's just a graphic example of the follicle and just maybe a little cartoonish. But as we look here, you have the hair shaft. This is the hair we see, but this is all the stuff underneath attached to the hair that we do not see. Okay. The sweat gland is attached to the hair. The erectile pillar muscle attached to the hair causes goosebumps. Sebaceous glands attached to each hair causes the oil. Every time you move your finger over hair, that gland pumps a little oil in. Sweat pumps a little bit in the pore. The pore is the outing for everybody underneath the skin. The adipose tissue is the fatty tissue. I stated yesterday, as you age, this tissue diminishes, which means you start to lose your youthful curvature of the face and of the body. You have bones, then you have muscles that give shape. Bones give structure and framework. Muscles give shape. And then the adipose tissue, the fatty tissue, helps bring everything together when we talk about curvature and movement. Okay. And so when this tissue diminishes, you have individuals that now say, I want to get fillers. They want to replace the tissue. But let me tell you, in the face, when someone smokes, this is the first thing that starts to diminish, that fatty tissue. So if you don't have any fatty tissue, fat, to me, fat is good. This type of fat is good. You need fatty tissue. All right. But as you do toxins, as you age and you bring toxins into the body, this fatty tissue diminishes. You don't want this to diminish in your client in the face because now you can really see the skeletal system, the skeletal of the face. You can see the cheekbones, not the cheeks. Okay, so we have to be very mindful of that. It's oil and sweat glands. Thursday we'll be back on. Tomorrow we're gonna break down sweat glands and oil glands, and we talked about the skin functions. But yeah, tomorrow is all about glands. I'm excited about it. We're gonna try to close this out on Friday. So Cosmo, y'all can come on back tomorrow if you want. Okay. And then because we're gonna keep it moving. You guys just happen to be on the same chapter this week.